Let's talk feedback. Feedback is often hard, and as managers and leaders, we struggle sometimes to give it. Gallup and some other surveys, other business surveys, show that upwards of 75 or more % of employees say they want feedback. They desire feedback to do their jobs better, yet only 26% of employees say that their managers give them actionable feedback. That is mind-blowing. Here's the challenge. I don't think that the feedback we often think of as leaders is the feedback that people want. It's that critical nature that I think is elusive. It is that aspect of us picking on something that somebody did wrong. That is the feedback that we often think about in giving feedback. And yet, feedback to do your job is hugely important. My thoughts go a little bit like this. I get to do theater directing as well as acting. I love it. I love working with directors who see the work that each of us is putting in. And I know that as if I work with my actors, one of my premises in giving them feedback is often around what they're doing that they're not aware of. So when they're aware of a mistake, and I see it all the time, when a person is aware of the mistake, I don't say anything about it. They know. There's no need to harp on it. It's the mistakes that the person doesn't see. It's the mistakes that are holding them back. It is the aspects that they struggle with that I think are needed in that feedback conversation. But feedback has a necessary component, and that is trust. Because we can give all the feedback we want. Hey, you've got something on your face. Hey, you didn't deliver that presentation well. But if I don't trust you and your motives, your feedback means nothing to me. I don't actually want to do anything with it because I may disagree with you. It's only when that feedback comes from a place of trust that we want to improve upon that feedback. We want to take that feedback in and consider it and then move forward. The other thing I would watch for when giving feedback is giving too much feedback. For instance, I'm working with somebody right now, and there are 3 things that I see that need to be improved. But we're going to start with one. We're going to start with one and get them to improve on that section before we move on to the other. When we make a list of areas and we give people that feedback on a pretty constant basis, it's too much to execute on. So I limit the number that we give for feedback, and it helps them execute, get better, and then we pick the next one, and then we go on to the next one. So next time you sit down to have a feedback conversation with one of your team members, make sure that you're coming from a place of trust. Make sure you've built that trust through good one-on-ones, through other ways in connecting with that employee before moving on to feedback. Keep it focused on areas that you know that they're not aware of, areas that are holding them back. And then keep the list short. I think you'll find that feedback is a lot easier to give when it encompasses those areas.